All right, hey Zach, how's it going?
All right, I'm
How's,
all
how's
right.
everything going? Yep, here with our pal Sonic, and we're here to talk about his game that came out a long time ago, called Sonic and the Secret Rings. Originally, we were going to be doing an unintentional Arabian theme
I know.
for
I just thought
this
about
week,
that too. Yeah.
because we were going to be talking about Aladdin. Unfortunately, you weren't able to go see it. Totally understand. Um, Things get in the way. I totally get it. I was able to see it, but we'll hold off on the discussion for now.
hmm
But we also decided to, just for fun, we were just throwing ideas out there, and we were like, let's play. And then you were looking on your shelf, and you're like, Sonic and the Secret Rings, and I was like, hey, I haven't played that game.
You
Let's do
brought
it.
it up. Hey, you were the one who was like
Was it
Sonic
me?
and Secret Rings. Yeah. Like
Really?
you literally just
Oh
looked at
yeah,
my backlog.
yeah. Oh yeah, I must have.
This
Or
is this is the one you wanted to play out of all the games we share.
well, I don't know. It's the one that popped out to me the most. I think you were like, yeah, you were naming a bunch of games, and I was just like, Sonic and the Secret Rings. We're doing it.
And what a treat it was.
It was nah. It was something. It was. It was. Okay.
No, I've
So
only played a few hours, but how much have you played?
so I don't really. I guess I've unlocked all the worlds, so to say, but the level progression in this game is so confusing. Um, you
How,
like there was like one world where you went to it and then you're like, we can't do anything here, and then you like skip ahead like two or three worlds,
oh yeah.
and then I don't know if you must not have gotten that far.
I mean, there's the evil something.
You have to fight Ifrit or something, and
Yeah,
Ifrit
and you
is
can't.
he's too hot. He's too
Yeah,
strong.
we
You
need
can't
more
fight him.
water.
Yeah, you need water, and that's exactly. So you go looking for like the water world ring or whatever,
Yeah,
and
and
then
that's pretty much where I left off was after that.
okay, okay,
So, like I played, I think there are only two or three worlds I haven't played.
yeah,
But I would like to play more, but I think I've made enough. I've played enough to assess it. I feel.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, how many rings did you get?
World rings. I currently have five of the seven, which is really confusing because I'm on the last world.
Right.
So it's like apparently I'm gonna get those other two, either like the big bad genie boy man thing is gonna stop me and be like, haha, you can't defeat me, Sonic the Hedgehog, and then he'll be like, no, but I can, and probably do something to get the other two. I don't know if you'll have to go back through the older worlds or
Right.
something. Like I said, the progression system in this game makes pretty much no sense. It doesn't really tell you like there's no rhyme or reason as to what mission you have to play next
Yeah.
to progress the story.
Yeah, I wasn't sure like if it was a certain amount of missions per level, then that unlocks. There's always like a special one where I always go to that one because I'm like, oh, that's definitely something like help Alibaba. Like, it's like whenever you have a character involved, it's like, all right, that one's the special one.
Yeah,
Literally, Tails is Alibaba.
yeah. Or
Nice.
collect the dinosaur eggs, which was probably my least favorite thing in the entire game so far.
Really? Uh,
Well, no, there was a lot that's my least favorite things about this
it
game.
was so
So I
good.
guess so I guess yeah. So this is the weird period of time where motion controls were very early. Um, Sega was like, "Hey, we got to get a Sonic game out for the Wii," and they were originally going to be porting Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, which I
Yeah.
would be so bold to say because I played and beaten that game. I would be so bold to say this game is much worse than that game. And that's saying a lot because that game is generally regarded as one of the worst video games ever.
Nice.
Um,
Yep.
I think a little bit of that is overstating the facts, but this game is just not good. It's just not. It's just, there's I okay. So here's I guess video games are supposed to be fun. Were you having fun playing this video game?
Mm-mm.
The first time that I was like, wow, I'm having fun
Uh-huh.
was on the last level of the game.
Yeah, because you were.
The first mission, that last level, I was like, this is actually fun.
Oh, what is good?
It was surprising because there was a sense of speed. The
Speed. I would have died for some speed in this
the,
game.
the world itself felt dynamic. There was really interesting things going on. One of the things you could do is you could there was a magic carpet segment where you could like depending on how you were. It was the motion controls felt good during that segment, which they don't
Really?
throughout most of the game. Yeah, I was like
Nice.
surprised. I was like, this is fun. I was having a good time. This is the first time of this game. Like 15 hours in, having fun for the first time.
So yeah, I just think this game is an embarrassment on many levels for video games and just like a product. It's not everything about it is like there's so much inconsistency. Even
Yeah.
if you want to go with the Alibaba, the theme, the Arabian theme, and then we have the freaking like punk music comes on every like result screen that's like makes no sense. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, that had me laughing pretty much every single time it came on until I started to get sick of it.
And just the story is awful, the writing is awful, and the just overall, I found that every new mechanic they introduced, the game got worse. So I was like, these mechanics are not fun. Like,
So the chief problem to me in the game is I mean, it's obviously is control. But they had this idea of instead of pressing the button is jump, when you release the button is jump.
yeah,
Which goes against a lot of it. So they're making it feel like it's like Tony Hawk kind of in that way.
mm-hmm.
Because like that's like a Tony Hawk thing where you if you because when you hold the button down, your guy goes down, your skater goes down, and then you do an ollie.
Yeah.
But in this game, it does not. The feedback does not match what you're trying to do at all.
Yeah, like there's so many times that it does not do what you want to do, and literally the whole idea of Sonic is speed, and the like most of these mechanics and features are like slow Sonic down, and like
Anti-speed.
you literally
Very anti-speed.
literally have to stop. There's a back pedal option. There's like a whole control. Tilt the controller back. He starts backing up. And I'm like,
I know.
this is the stupidest thing. Backstep, I think, is literally what it's called.
Yeah.
I'm
Where
like,
you
what are
back-
you doing?
Yeah. Well, that, and there's also you unlock like more than halfway through the game, or it felt like it was more than halfway through for me, is when you finally unlock a use for those little pearl things that you're picking up, where it's
Okay.
like one is like speed up, like super speed, and the other one is super slow down,
Which I hate. I hated that
which
so
is
much.
this is the worst. I tried to use it to help myself navigate. It never helped because you still have the issue of trying to actually control him awkwardly through stuff.
And you're slower too, and
Yeah,
it's very weird.
yeah, it's very strange, and everything gets all like washed out, and like they like jack up the
Yeah.
contrast, and it just looks awful.
In the speed break, I was like, oh great, this will let me get through the levels faster at least. That's the only consolation. Except you can just run into things anyway, and it stops it.
You take damage from things, which just baffles my. I couldn't believe it.
Like you can't do
When that
anything.
was happening.
It goes into hyperdrive, like the speed you'd actually expect Sonic to go, but then you can't actually do anything.
Yeah,
It's like you don't know
there's-
what's going on.
There's so many obstacles and things in your way. You can blast through enemies, but you can't. There's so many obstacles in the environment. You're just gonna run into something and get hurt.
Yeah, so like the only time you can ever use it if there's a straightaway, and it's like, ooh yeah.
And
let's get it.
they've like given you specific like, oh, this will. They basically indicate to you you can use this now because they've given you like a little chest that fills up your special bar like all the way. So
Yeah.
it's a pretty rough game. It's a pretty rough game.
The very concept is not on point. Like the entire base
Yeah.
of the game being about this book that Sonic's just gonna jump in, and I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, I kind of like the storybook segment. I mean, like, okay, I'm not. This is the era of. I don't like Sonic's voice actor in this period of time. I
Yeah.
liked his original Dreamcast voice actor, and I really like his current one. I think he's great. This sort of like in between voice actor, I've never been a big fan of. He sounds like the way I described it to my parents when I was like, I was playing this game and they were in the room, and the way I described it to them was like, it sounds like he's talking down to children the whole time.
Yeah.
Like he's like, "Wow, I'm gonna do this now." Like he just has like a weird like up and down into
Yeah.
the voice, which is he starts really deep, and then yeah, he sounds goofier, which
and like
I mean, Sonic is inherently a really goofy concept, a goofy thing, but yeah, I don't know.
and
I
there's
was
just,
not a big fan of the voice acting, but I actually like the that they adhere to the storybook idea and the cutscenes. I kind of like that. It's a fun style. Um, but I mean that's such a low bar thing that like I'm like scraping to find things to praise about this game
yeah,
because there's very little.
I didn't even like the storybook segments. I think, I mean, that was clearly just because of limitations is why they did that, but because it makes it
Yeah.
easier. But I'm like, I don't like. I feel like the dialogue was all just like very cringy, and
was
like
pretty bad.
the whole story where like Tails is literally named Alibaba, and he's like, oh, you Tails, and I wish I had written down some lines from this because he had some such weird interactions sometimes, and like even the way they conversed, like it was not a natural flow of conversation at times. It was really
Like
weird.
it's like yes, you are the legendary blue hedgehog. Like wait, what? That was the part where I was like, huh? I mean, like I can understand like Sonic being like put into this like crazy world, and people are like, "Who are you? Who's this guy supposed to be?" No, apparently the legendary blue hedgehog is somehow in the writings of 1001 Arabian Nights, and then also ancillary stories because I think if memory serves, Alibaba and the 40 Thieves and some of the other ones aren't actually included in the original Scheherazade tale. But that's a whole other topic.
hmm Yeah,
Oh boy.
I think just at the very fundamentals, and this isn't even this isn't even like jumping on the Sonic hate bandwagon. I wanted to go into this. I
No,
was like, I want to like this game, and
honestly, me too.
like I feel
Um,
like other games I played, like Sonic Colors, Sonic Heroes, even I felt like were done better. Sonic Heroes was before this game, and it was a 3D Sonic game. I still felt like that was done way better than this in terms of at least having like enjoyable. The pace was done better, and just overall movement. The whole tilting the Wii remote did not work, and like I wanted speed. I'm like tilting it forward, go fast, and he has like this whole slow startup speed.
so,
It's
so yeah,
not
and
fun.
the progression system in this game is like a weird like RPG level up mechanic, where once you start leveling up, you start earning more abilities. And the stuff I was earning, I was like, why didn't you start the game with this?
hmm
There's some stuff like the slide, going faster. One is like, accelerate faster. I was like, why is this an ability I'm unlocking? Why wasn't it like this in the game already? It's very very strange decisions, and I almost feel that it was down to a rush development time or something.
Sure.
Um, I mean, people are more, from what I've gathered, people are pretty unanimous in not liking this game, and now I know why because I've experienced it firsthand. People are a little bit more gregarious towards Sonic and the Black Knight, which I think in that one you're swinging a sword around like with the Wii remote
hmm
the whole time, which I mean that sounds miserable too, but from what I've heard, they implement stuff a little bit better in that game. So it's still dumb in the whole like inserting Sonic characters into a story. um, I don't know. Maybe we'll play that someday on
Yeah,
the
that's
channel.
next week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, I want to reiterate too. I actually really like Sonic the Hedgehog a lot as both a character and the game series. I like a lot of the old games. I think Sonic CD is probably the best Sonic game. Period. Um, Sonic Mania was great. Sonic, the Dreamcast era is kind of where it loses me a little bit. I really like Sonic Generations. I really need to go back and play Sonic Colors because I've heard nothing but good things about that game.
Yeah, it's really I really enjoyed that. I played that with Cole back for Hey
Yeah.
Listen, and that was
Oh wow.
yeah, like it's almost the same scenario. It's like we picked this game just to play it,
Yeah.
and but except I enjoyed that one. It's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then Sonic Forces was not a great game.
mhm.
Probably isn't really even like an average game. It's probably on the I actually really enjoyed my time with that game. There's a lot of really good concepts in that one. That they just, I felt like time and budget probably lent itself to not fare well with that one. But so besides the main theme, which gets really really annoying, thoughts on the other music in this game?
I still didn't really enjoy the music. I found it to be very unremarkable, and still a lot of times not really fitting for the theme, like what they were going for. I don't know. They had this whole era with 3D Sonic where they wanted like the punk, like cool, edgy music, which I actually like enjoy.
The butt rock.
Yeah,
butt rock. Yeah.
I enjoy that in some of the other ones, like Live and Learn.
Oh yeah,
like
great. It's
I can go for that, but you can't give me an Arabian theme and then just like throw that in there and expect me to take it, and it's not even like good, not even good.
Yeah, I see. I'm torn because I'm torn in the sense that I actually like Seven Rings in Hand. It's a fine, average, silly, dumb butt rock song that's in Sonic. The part where it starts to become funny is just how often you hear it.
Yeah.
To the point of where I actually start to hate it. So, like anything that's overplayed that much, because it's like literally in the beginning of the game when you're playing all the tutorial levels, like you'll just do this tiny little thing, and it's like you're hearing it. You'll do like the 30-second tutorial, and then you'll start hearing it immediately again.
Yeah,
and it's so funny.
Like,
it's so funny.
Literally like 5-second levels to play right after. I'm like, whoa, okay.
Yeah. And the sad thing is that the guy who's the lead singer, because I don't think Crush 40 performed that. They weren't performing that version of the song. It was Steve Conti, who did music in a lot of anime. Kind of earlier in the 2000s, he had actually worked on Cowboy Bebop.
Okay.
And I think he'd done something with Ghost in the Shell as well. So he's not a complete unknown, but like man. Not I don't think that was a smart decision to do that game. He's a talented guy, but yeah, I just not a big fan of
it's
of the whole. Yeah, I mean, like, and you were saying, yeah, most of the rest of the soundtrack is pretty overall forgettable. I think there was a couple of tracks where I was like, okay, this is all right, but
yeah,
not up to the standards of even in the bad Sonic games. The music is really good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's worth noting that this Sonic game is a little different than at least the ones I played, where it's not like straightforward playthrough level. They tried all these weird things, like different missions, like defeat 20 enemies, don't touch any barrels,
don't touch rings.
Don't touch rings.
I hate that. That's my least favorite thing in the world. You have to end the level with 0 rings. So if you accidentally collect rings, you have to find some way to hurt yourself before you cross the finish line.
Collect 99 rings. Some weird stuff like destroy eggs, and it's like some weird stuff they had in there. But I'm like, if the game was good, just in the fundamentals were good, I would like doing like different things. That'd be interesting.
Well, it almost feels like it's you're not even playing the full game. It's almost like you're playing like the mini games that are after like the main levels. You know what I mean?
Yeah, except they're all main levels now.
Except they're all the main levels, and yeah, and all the worlds feel like broke, like cheap Mario Kart levels. You know?
Yeah, none of them really stood out and were like, "Ooh, this is really cool."
Like they felt like the C team was working on Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing, and then they're just like, "Oh, we don't like this track. We're not going to put it in the game. Hey, we can use it in Sonic and the Secret Rings though." Like that's almost what it feels like, even though that game like came out way later. But
right.
But that's kind of what it feels. They feel very uninspired. Which, given a strong theme like 1001 Arabian Nights, that would be like. That seems to me like that's rife for interesting ideas, but like you go to like a dinosaur level, you're like a pirate ship, which is supposed to be like, oh, pirate ship is supposed to be fun, you know, Arabian pirates and stuff, but it ends up feeling more like a ghost ship pirate thing, and like it's the wrong type of ship for an Arabian. It's just, yeah, there's so much about it that feels like it's just not reaching a potential that it could potentially have.
The problem is it's not even doing the fundamentals correctly of like the game mechanics, and Sonic should be fast and being able to actually move how you want to move. Like literally, if they didn't have the motion, that would be a nice step. Having to tilt it, not really fun. But like I found even in the dinosaur level, there's a like almost every new style of level they try to do like exposes just how bad the game is. Cause like they had the thing where the dinosaurs are chasing you and you're running towards the screen.
Gosh, that was so bad. Those segments always frustrate me in Sonic games, but that's probably the worst example of it.
And then like you hit something, you're like, and then you lose all momentum. And he's slowly starting up. He gets hit by the dinosaurs again. He dies. And it's like the camera's all janky and just every flaw is exposed from these things they try to do, which could have been good. It's like usually that whole style of the Indiana Jones, like something chasing you, is usually good. Is like usually a fun little thing you can throw in, but it's just like, oh god, what is this mess?
Yeah, it's nice when the camera's panned back a little further, but when it's like right up in Sonic's face and you literally can't see what you're running into, I that always bothers me in those games. It's cool cinematically, but it's very frustrating to actually play a lot of times, especially in this game. And
it exposes just how slow Sonic is when the dinosaurs keep running into me after I miss a couple boosts, and he's like, he's always talking about how fast he is in here, and he's like, he's moving so slow. Yeah. It's like, I have a really fast top speed, but I gotta get there and not have to stop, which you inevitably do for everything.
Yeah. Well, before we end, one thing I was remembering was when we had a subscription to Nintendo Power back in the day, and when this game was coming out, it was being touted as like, this is Nintendo's better version of Sonic 06. This game's better than that game. This game's not better than that game. And that's really hard to say. I have a weird fascination with Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, but we'll go into that at a later date, I'm sure. But what would you score this game based on what you played?
This will be fun. We've had too many good ratings. It's about time. About time. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 10. Solid 4 out of 10.
That was the exact same score that I had in mind, 4 out of 10.
Okay.
I think there is bite-sized segments of fun to be had, even if it's fun at the expense of the game itself, and just laughing at like how poorly implemented it is.
Yeah.
I think had they had maybe more time and maybe weren't trying to rush out a Waggle Fest, weird, awkward motion control gimmicky thing, it might have been a little bit better of a game.
That's the most frustrating part, is the Wii Remote can be a good controller, and you don't need to do the whole motion. Like Donkey Kong Country Returns does it really well.
Yeah.
Just like one simple motion you can throw in there if you want, but if you just control it like a regular controller, it can be fine. But like they make it seem like if someone plays this, they're like, oh, Wii Remote, Wii sucks, man. Look at this thing. Tilt it forward and you're not even getting any speed out of it. It's like he's slowly moving.
Like I can't even imagine these like people like this being their first Sonic the Hedgehog game, like little kids getting like a Sonic the Hedgehog game. I can't even imagine like what this must have been like for them.
I can't get over that you can go backwards slowly, and there's a brake button, and there's like so many things wrong. Holding, like, you lose all momentum with every action you do.
Yeah.
It's not Sonic. Not my Sonic.
No.
So 4 out of 10. I feel like we're being a little generous there, but
probably a little bit. I was hovering like 3.5 even territory,
it's
maybe,
like,
but
it is a game. That's it. It gets a 4 out of 10 for being a game.
Being a video game.
But it's like it's just an embarrassment. Like
it is. It's really a shame.
The argument,
honestly.
like, video games are art. I'd show them this as a counter argument.
Yeah, this is what Ebert, who in life was always saying that video games could never be the same level of art. If he'd played this game, I would, I wouldn't disagree with him. Yeah.
I looked at like a couple of the like special pages you unlock too, and it was weird. It was like the developers wrote like, "Oh, we tried it was hard to reach a decision on this one. It was like weird random things they
Yeah.
said.
I saw that. I saw that. Yeah, that was very funny. Funnily enough, some of those are like unlocking like chapters of Sonic Past. So you get to, and it's kind of neat because it shows you all the different regional box arts of like older Sonic games. And I was like, wow, I wish I was playing that game right now instead. So yeah.
All right.
Not gonna be a game. Not gonna be a game I work on doing a completionist run of. That's for sure.
I kind of do want to beat it though, just to say I beat it.
I want to
now.
beat it. I want to beat it, but I don't think I'm gonna spend time getting everything.
Yeah, beat every level. Get up, like I can't get over like the random useless things they threw into like the fire, like collecting the fire rings, and like they didn't even explain what they were. Like they throw in stuff and don't explain some things.
Yeah.
And then 4 out of 10. Tarkron score 4 out of 10.
Boom.
Beautiful.
I would stay away from this one if you're a Sonic fan unless you are really curious, which is basically what we were.
Yeah, man.
Very disappointing.
Some games that are bad are like fun to play because they're that bad. This one's just like, no, it's just overall, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Not ready.
That's it.
See ya.